What's going on, everybody? Welcome back here to the channel. It's game week 10 on Sorare NBA. Let me run you through my lineups, my in-season tournament lineup, another reward that we won, that the streak does continue, and also some helpful tips and tricks that I use that hopefully you can apply to your game to continue winning on Sorare. Let's get into it. Before we get into this video as well, though, obviously subscribe to the channel, but our latest podcast on the NBA dropped this morning. You can catch it up here or up here, wherever the link will be. Go give it a listen. It would mean the world to me. On to the Sorare lineups. Okay, first things first.
Something to realist.
Yep. Right, we're going to do our common reward. Only in tier 3. We didn't have any of the main guys that popped off this week for us. An Obi Toppin. Do you know what? L10 and 19, sometimes he projects quite well for Indiana. A bit too high, though, for me. We did come 528 in champion. I should have showed you the lineup. Embiid, Giannis, Doncic all hit 70 pluses. Norm Powell hit a 36, but Jaden Springer, who was my sort of go out there and L10 low pick, didn't perform to what we was asking for. Basically, he just didn't. He had the minutes. He just didn't really get enough. He didn't really get going for the Sixers, especially in that last game. It was a bit of a Paul Reed game, and then the Sixers weren't great in general. But tier 4 reward, we'll rip it open. I'm not expecting too much from this. Cavs forward, Georges Niang. That's a tier 4. It's just a bit. I mean, I've got his Philly card in any case, so I'll probably sell this one. But it's a tier 4 nonetheless. Onto the lineups for this week. Right then, it's a big one for the in-season tournament this week. I need to have a good, strong performance after obviously not playing last week. I've fallen down. I'm outside the cash rewards now, but I'm hopeful that this week I can claw it back. So obviously, as normal, you need 3 brand new cards for the in-season tournament. And I have a Giannis playing the Warriors, the Wizards, even better. There is potential argument to be using him in sort of the Red Champions or the normal limited champions because he's got the Warriors and then the Trailblazers. But I'm going to play him in this one. I'm going to play him alongside Julius Randle. L10 of 40 is really, really high for Randle. I'd be surprised if he beats this, but he's probably the best option that I've got alongside Giannis and also Kyle Kuzma to play. Now, the Wizards in general have been terrible, but Kuzma's been putting up solid stat lines, and a 53 and a 63 speak for it. I know it was against Milwaukee and also then the Hornets, but I'm going to run with him again at 34. He's another good season card, and I don't really like any of my other options, and I'm not playing Westbrook right now until they sort their situations out a bit more. That then leaves me with 33 left. I'm going to look to my rare gallery here to help me a little bit out. I should have said there. Jaren Jackson Jr. with the Phoenix Suns game. I think the Grizzlies are in such a weird spot right now. They're really, really bad. But Jaren Jackson Jr. is capable of any night of getting some defensive actions and turning it on a bit. These scores this year have not really been reflective of the player that he is. The issue with the Grizzlies in general is that they've got everyone out. And it seems that when everyone's out, Jaren Jackson Jr. just never turns up is the unfortunate thing. But I'm going to roll with him because it then allows me to also play Aaron Gordon. I've got 32 left. He's got a game against the Rockets. And in general, Gordon is that consistent floor player that has potential to go into the 40s and 50s. And that's what I want this week. So that coupled with the other guys that I've got, I quite like this lineup in terms of it should be a decent scoring one. And hopefully it helps me climb back into the cash prizes. Onto my limited lineups now. No, it's not the limited lineups. It's my common lineup. I forgot to do this again. Right, as ever, if I win a limited reward from this common team, I'll give it away. I haven't done it yet this year. I did win last year though. Of course, I'll give it away to a subscriber of the channel. Just all you have to do is leave a like on the video and comment down below. Anything you can do. And if I win a reward, I'll go back into the video and give it away from there. Anyway, Luka Doncic playing against the Clippers. Doncic's fixture irrelevant. It doesn't really matter. He can put it up. He can score against anyone for it. So Bone 46 is too high. I'm going to go for Kawhi Leonard. And then a Jalen Brunson that I picked up. That then leaves me with 21 between the last 2 spots, in which I like the look of Malik Beasley at 22, but 21 I'm not actually loving anyone at the 21 mark. If I swapped Brunson out for Triple J, that then leaves me with 25. Could go for Royce O'Neal. He's got 2 games against the Bulls and he'll get good boards, but it's a bit strange what's going on at the Nets as well currently. This is an interesting one actually. I've got a bit of a funk here. I think I'm going to go for, we get rid of Triple J. We pick Jalen Brunson back up at 21. That leaves Al Horford with those 2 games. And I think I like that more. Yeah, we're going to run Al Horford in here. Al Horford is capable of putting up a 40 or 50 Sorare score. The Hawks game should be the one where he'd get that, but it'll all depend on if they sit people. So we'll run this as the team. As ever, like I said, if I win a reward, I'll give it away. On to my limits. Right, for limited champion then, Joel Embiid missed the last game with hip soreness. I think he'll be fine to take on the OKC Thunder. It's on the 25th anyway, so there's a couple of, I think he gets like 3 or 4 days rest. So Embiid will be my MVP. Luka, like I've said, is fixture irrelevant. You can play Luka against anyone and he'll be performing at that top tier level for you in any case. The other guys then to round this lineup off for me, realistically, I snagged a Chris Middleton the other day. For me, Chris Middleton is at a point where we haven't seen a big game from him this season, and that's obviously because Damian Lillard and Giannis sort of getting accustomed to each other, and Chris Middleton's had to sort of take a back seat from being not even potentially the second or third guy with Drew Holiday around to now definitely the third guy on this team. I think his minutes and his fitness have also been worked on, and he's slowly worked his way back into this like full fitness, full Chris Middleton that we know. So I think he probably will only play one of these games, but because they're the Wizards and the Blazers, I'm going to take the risk on him at 22. So I think he's a solid option for it in any case. Next guy in here is going to be Jordan Poole. Seems to have found, I'm not going to say actually, he's not found any form. He's just sort of put up the numbers that everyone expects Jordan Poole to put up in the last 2 games after dropping that 5 against the Knicks. So I think he'll be the other option. And then at 26, I don't really have anyone in my gallery. And looking at it, the best guy is probably Norm Powell, but he came off injured the other night. So I'm probably going to go Jabari Smith Jr. And I don't hate it against the Nuggets in terms of he'll be a spot-up shooter that will get some rebounds and a few points and maybe a defensive action or 2. But it's not the best, so I might pick someone else up. But for the time being, that's my limited champion. Onto contender. Right then, for limited contender. Again, I'm not loving sort of where some of my gallery is L10-wise currently. Quentin Grimes I'm going to put in. He's got a back-to-back with the Knicks, but I think also he'll get some exceeding minutes in one of these games. And QG's got the capability of putting up way past the 14. Josh Richardson next. Again, they've got a back-to-back. There's 2 road games. Jimmy Butler might sit one of these, which would then see Josh Richardson hopefully play both because he needs the minutes. Hopefully play both, settle in a bit more in this Miami side and put up a score better than 16. That's leaving me with 26 left for 3, but I actually want a bit more than that. And Terrence Mann still in that starting role for the Clippers. He'll get a little bit more usage as the sort of side settles now that it's baked with Westbrook on the bench and everyone moving in. So Terrence Mann's going to be the guy that I picked there. That leaves me with 31 for 2 left. Oh, if I pick Franz Wagner, I can take Aaron Gordon as well. So Franz Wagner, again, they don't have a back-to-back, so he should play both these games, and one of them against Charlotte. It's as simple as that. And Aaron Gordon, like I've said, he's capable of putting up those scores as a low ceiling guy, as a low floor guy, which is what I want in terms of contender, but has the capability to put in a 40 or maybe even a 50-pointer, and he's playing the Spurs as well. So I don't mind that as a contender lineup. I don't have a massive big hitter, which I normally like, but the guys that just have the really low L10s, I'm not really feeling this week that are in my current gallery. So I think this is what I'm going to roll with. Underdog next, and then Red. Underdog we're gonna make right off the fly here. I think I'm going to try Nikola Jovic just because they have that back-to-back. He might get some minutes, and an L10 of 5, I'll roll with it. Jackson Hayes, I'm always going to pick because even if AD's playing at the minute, he's coming off the bench now and getting some points, 13, 7. If AD sits this game, which we won't know because it's a day or 2 after lock, then we're laughing. I'm not sure I'm going to run the Daniel House Jr. play this week. It did all right. It did better than the Jaden Springer one, but do you know what? We'll put him in 6 of an L10. That leaves me with 22 left for the last 2. Shake Milton is definitely someone that I wanted to play in any case because they've got 2 nice games and he's been getting minutes. At 33, do I have anyone in that realm? Have a Jordan Clarkson. I could just put RJ Barrett in there alongside him. And at 13, was there anyone else that was a bit better? Doug McDermott, no. Paul Reed on the chance that Embiid sits at his potential. Otto Porter Jr. I don't really like. Shake Milton's the best one there. I think that's fine for Underdog. Let's do my res. Right then, Red Champion rewards still haven't been changed. I'm hoping they'll come soon. It is just super super hard to win in Rare Champion at the moment. It almost puts me off putting these cards in Rare Champion because I could probably win in Rare Contender each week. Well, not each week, but I'd have a really strong chance of winning in Rare Contender, whereas Rare Champion, I've got no hope at the moment. The flip side to it is if you do win in Rare Champion, it is really, really big. There's a lot of money, a super rare and a good rare card that comes with it as well. In any case, I'm going to play it. Devin Booker will be my MVP. Bam Adebayo, I'm not going to run the risk with him, although I really love the fixture against the Knicks and the Nets for him. I think he'd smash 44. I think he'll get a 60, 70-point game in them for them. I really think Bam would do well, but I'm not going to risk it because I've got Anthony Edwards who plays the Grizzlies, and that's all I'm going to say on that front. Damian Lillard as well, L10 of 38, because he had that slow start, it's come right down. And he's got 2 games against the Wizards and the Blazers. So again, he might only play one of them because he's been on the injury report, but he's always probable in any case. But I'm going to run him because he's playing the Wizards, and I think they're going to tear both those teams completely apart. That leaves me 20 left on my L10. Brogdon is an option because every guard that plays the Bucks does exceedingly well against them. But I think I'm going to save it. I might save him for Contender. I haven't built them yet, so I'll see what that is. Jordan Port, 23. I'm going to play him. Yes, this is where you shout at me and I have to accept it. But that leaves me with 17 left, and I can either go Terrence Mann or Josh Richardson. And I'm leaning more Josh Richardson just because of that back-to-back. And I think he can go into the 30s where I haven't seen it yet of Terrence Mann, but I know he has a higher, well, maybe he doesn't have a higher, he does have a higher ceiling. Terrence Mann does. I'm going to go Josh Richardson. Let me know what you think in the comments down below who I should go for there, but hopefully we get some big scores out of these 3 guys here, and that pushes us into some rewards, fingers crossed. Contender next, Underdog, and we'll get ourselves out. Right, Rare Contender then. So I think if we go on the basis that we're going to play Malcolm Brogdon because of that fixture, we'll put a Terrence Mann in as well. Where does that leave us? That leaves us with 22 left with 3 spots to go. I'm not going to play an Ish Smith or Jackson Hayes in Contender, just especially with only 1 game. Harrison Barnes is potentially an option. He's been putting up good scores recently. An L10 of 17, I don't mind him. He was obviously the card that I won last week. Trendon Watford's been getting some solid minutes now for the Nets, but he's not really been doing much in that time. But it is against the Bulls, so it's tough. But I'll put Harrison Barnes in. Wiggins is definitely a guy. I know, again, Wiggins has not been great, but they're playing the Spurs, an L10 of 20. That then leaves me with an L10 of 30 left, of which I could go for Westbrook. I could go for RJ Barrett, though. I think RJ Barrett might be the play here. I like that Suns game for him because I don't think anyone's going to... I mean, like, KD will be on Randall, so... I think I'll go RJ Barrett for the time being, but that could move to a Westbrook. Or if I can find room, it'd be really nice to get a Jimmy Butler in there. If I took Brogdon out on the premise that I'm not sure on him, put Jimmy Butler in, that then leaves me with 20 left, and I could play KCP. And KCP's been doing really well for the Nuggets recently. So it's Butler or KCP or Brogdon and Barrett. Let me know in the comments below what you do. I think I'm going to go for the Jimmy Butler one just because he's got the highest ceiling. Underdog now. You might as well stay with me. We'll build this now. Underdog is always. I've come really close a couple of times actually. Jackson Hayes and Ish Smith are going to go in there. Fontecchio's not been getting particular minutes. Watanabe's been. Yuda has been injured. Javon Carter's always coming off the bench for them. That's leaving me with 17 left. I can throw Trendon Watford in there, and then also Jaden Ivey, who's back in the starting role at the Pistons, but it doesn't mean much because the Pistons suck. And then who could forget Street Ball, the best tournament there is, because in Street Ball, you just go out and pick the top guys that you've got in your gallery, and you hope that they hit it big. And that's Street Ball for you. That'll do it. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy this Sorare video, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel down below, and don't forget to leave us a comment. I've got a video going to be coming out soon in terms of if I started Sorare today, what would I do? Who would I buy? Where would I start? And whatnot. If you've got any other ideas for videos like that, because I had people comment it on down below on older videos saying, asking for questions of that they've just started and whatnot, please leave some comments down below in terms of what you'd like me to do. It's not like I'm running out of ideas. I just want to see if you guys want some help on something. I'd be more than happy to help in any way that I can. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.